Salutations and proclamations. It is I, it is you, it is us, it is we. Together, we make up the De La Fit podcast. What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Philly's number one son, a.k.a. the Body Alchemist, Sun Moon Bay, bringing you another podcast excursion. We have some great guests lined up for this week of October the 9th, 2018. It is fall and it is gotten cold. That's right, everybody. It seems like it has gotten cold out there. I don't know where it came from. It seems like a week ago we were in the middle still of summer, and now again we are back. As I said last podcast, it seems like it's increased even more, and it's chilly. You know, they're saying we're gonna get some of the chilliest weather we've had around this time period, or the chilliest weather as of right now, but I'm certain it's going to get colder. But you know what? I'm actually kind of looking forward to it for the first time. It seems as though there's so much time time is flying so quickly. It's almost like we jumped in the DeLorean and kind of jet set it, to the future. I hope everybody recognizes my Back to the Future movie reference. Shout out to Michael J. Fox and all my Back to the Future fans out there. But it seems like we have literally flown forward. We're shot out of a cannon. We just keep moving forward. I keep on saying it, but it seems like it's just that way. We're just moving that far into the future that quickly. If you miss an hour, it feels like you've missed 2 to 3 hours. I was sitting down and talking to my parents about that, and it just seems that that's just how things are going at this time. We're just in a very, very, very fast-paced moving momentum right now. It seems like it's that way physically, spiritually, mentally. Everything is just heightened, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think out there? It's interesting to take in, but with all of that being said, I think what makes me feel better at times is looking at how the seasons are changing. Taking this time to see the leaves starting to change color and feeling that little bit of frost in the air, that little chill. I went outside last night and I could actually see my breath as I was speaking. I was on the phone and I could just see it, I could just see in my breath a little bit of it, and I think some of those things with all the fast-paced movement that's going on, it kind of makes me and keeps me filled with hope. If you all kind of are following me out there, it just makes me feel a little better knowing that, we're in that transitional phase. I think with transition comes hope, and hope is what should always, and hopefully springs eternal, no pun intended. But the truth of it is that without hope, what's the reason for going on? And I think that's what we need. That's what is needed in this day and time. A lot of hope, So I take it from the seasons. I take it from people who are doing progressive things. I take it from the guests that are here on the show who are so benevolently taking time out of their day to share their energy with me and with you all. And that gives me hope. That gives me a lot of hope, because without each other, we're nothing. Humanity needs each other. As much as we seem to be taught that we don't need each other, that, we can do it all alone. The thing of it is we never do anything alone. The Creator is constantly feeding us, constantly feeding our spirit, our soul. Now, here's the thing. We're also constantly feeding ourselves. It's no different than what we're always talking about on the show. You can feed yourself the best possible diet. You can move and exercise and play and do all the great movements and all the things you want, and come out with something fantastic, with a healthy body, a healthy mind, a healthy spirit. Or you can feed yourself garbage. You can have a bad diet. You can do things that'll tear your body down, that'll tear your mind down. And it's the same thing. And trust me, it is difficult with all of the things out there in the media, with all of the temptations out there. It is not easy, and it's not supposed to be easy. That is the resistance of life. Life is built on resistance. That's why it is so important that we continue to move. It's so important that we continue to play in the big playground, whether it's called a gym or whether it's called a CrossFit center, whether it's Tai Chi, whether it's the pool, whether it's dancing, whether it's making love to that special person that you care so much about. That creates a stimulation and hopefully a positive rhythm inside of you, which helps keep you moving in the positive direction. We need all of that, and we need all of each other. I hope everybody understands what I'm saying. Anyway, we have a great show coming up again. We have John Blackley, a man who has 30 years worth of experience in the fitness lifestyle, coming from a family of athletes, being an athlete himself, training athletes, training individuals from many different aspects of life, running a gym, managing gyms. The man has a full-on knowledge of the fitness lifestyle, and he's come to talk with us about the fitness mindset, what it does for you being active. We all know about what it does for you physically, but we don't talk about it as much as needed, what it does for us mentally, which is so important. And Mr. Blackley is going to be here speaking with us about that much needed conversation. What can being active do for your mental aspect, your mental eye? That's going to be great. And also, as always, we have the Dropping the Jewels section with a special guest who has yet to be named. Who is it going to be this week? Is it going to be who we think it is? Is it going to be who you think it is? Or is it somebody that I've randomly pulled from the depths of anywhere? I don't know. Tune in and find out. But it's going to be a great show. And thank you again for tuning in. As always, you know who you're here with. It's the De La Fit Podcast.
You're now tuned in to the De La Fit Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? It's Philly's number one son, a.k.a. the Body Alchemist, telling you to tune into the De La Fit Podcast every Friday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard and 10 o'clock Pacific to hear the best in fitness and holistic health. We've got some great guests, we've got some great information, and we're sharing it every Friday. That's right at 1 o'clock and 10 a.m. Pacific time. Join us.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome. It is the De La Fit Podcast. Today's guest I have with me is a Mr. John Blackley. He is here. He is a trainer who's got a wealth of information, and we actually started a conversation that I thought was very good. I want to let him give him some background on himself, but we got into a conversation about training and how it affects the mind and what it can do and what a trainer truly has on them, what their job is. It's not just physical, it can be mental at times. Mr. Blackley, are you on the line?
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, sir. Busy as you I'm sure you can attest to yourself, but you know how it is. We keep moving and keep progressing.
Yes, we do. And hello out there to your audience.
All right, I'm sure the audience is eager to hear your information. First things first, Mr. Blackley, give a little bit of information, a history about yourself for the audience out there.
Well, started off as a young child playing sports early in my life at the age of 5. And I'll go way back. Now I'm 60 years of age, so I've been doing it for a long time. But I come out of a family of athletes. I'm the youngest of 6. It was 5 boys and 1 girl, so everybody in my family was pretty much athletic. And so having older brothers, 5 boys and 1 girl, having older brothers, so I had a lot of training from my brothers. They range from all sports, from boxing to wrestling, karate, track and field football. Then had all that knowledge being imparted in me. So that kind of started me on my journey. And I played all the sports growing up as well. But what I did find out about the fitness life, for me, even doing through elementary school, playing at 5 years old, to middle school, went to junior high, went to high school. I always had an interest in doing something physical fitness because I like the way my body looked. I like the way I felt as a being. But that just progressed over into my adulthood age. I never did stop. I continued to play sports, softball, basketball. Didn't do the football thing. Got too old for that. But just continued to stay in shape. And then always lifted weights. Started at an early age lifting weights as well. But that's just kind of how my background started, having older brothers and then having done. Then as I progressed later on in life down the road, I had my own kids. I got them involved in sports. I had a son who played at Florida State. I had a daughter who went to Georgia Southern ran track. And another son went to Georgia Southern played football. And got another son, the San Antonio plays well. Georgia Southern is now coaching now high school ball. So athleticism, athletes and fitness and things kind of runs in my family, runs in the bloodline. And that's kind of a little bit about me, how I got started involved with it. And now, from doing that, I got involved with bodybuilding. Mm-hmm. Always liked the sport. Got involved with bodybuilding. Could have done it, but never really was, I didn't want to do it. I could train people to do it, but never was going to want to get on stage. Then I got into the judging part of bodybuilding. Been judging competitions now over 21 years in the Southeast. A lot of different organizations, natural organizations. When I say natural, I mean these are people who aren't taking anabolic steroids, things like that, aren't supposed to be taken when I say that, because they aren't drug tested. And that's kind of how I got into fitness with that part of it. But then there's more to just fitness than just the physical part. Over the years, I found out I got into the mental part. I learned how to lift up my brain more so than train with my body, because the body would do what the brain is supposed to do.
Right.
And so I started incorporating that into my workout. And then the people I train, I always tell them before we start, get your head right. They hear me say it all the time, get your head right. Get your head right, because you're not there mentally. You can't be. Here's a good example. I'll say this: you can't be talking on your cell phone, in one hand, and a dumbbell in your other hand, and you think you're doing something. Right. So where's the brain right now? The brain's not on the bicep. The brain's on what? On their cell phone. So you're wasting time. You're just moving up and down. So you got to learn how to focus, put the muscle and the brain working together. And every part I do, and people go, how do you do that? I teach people how to do that, how to get the brain and the muscle working together. And I said, you got to speak to that body part. When you speak it, then now the brain and the muscle working together. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I use to get people mentally prepared.
Now let me ask you a question, not to cut you off, but you touched on a few things that I don't want it to slip out of my mind. All right. Now, first things first, you were talking about how the cell phone in one hand and the dumbbell in the other, and I'm glad that you brought that up. Let's talk a little bit about how we are in society today, because we're getting pulled in several different ways. Social media, our phones are like a computer, so we're totally connected, 100%. How does that affect the psyche, and what does the training, all right, what does physical training, what does being, I don't want to say athletic, but just exercising, moving, what does that do for the body, all right, compared to how we're connected with all this social media and computers and everything? What is that doing for the body?
Well, a couple things I would say the first thing, let's talk about the exercise part of it. On the exercise part of it, if you detach yourself from the social media part of it, now you got to open ways to allow your body to work in its fullest, because it's not being distracted by something else, something on social media or people texting or whatever. A couple things happen. I tell people there's a lot of risks too. When having these phones stuck to our ears and head, there's probably proven that there could be some potential cancer coming from that. Okay, so I always tell people, wear your headphones or whatever, but sometimes you need to detach yourself from wearing your headphones, and you have music playing all the time. The gym does have music, and most places do have music provided for you. But I tell you, people, it can hinder your growth. It's because it can hinder your growth in your body. And the reason it hinders your growth is because you're not fully focused on what you are doing. Okay. You're more focused on what you're hearing. So I tell people, I tell my clients, don't be on social media when you're with me. Now, you do that on your time. You want to Instagram and all that kind of stuff. do it all the time. Now, sometimes I don't really like my clients listen to their music. Someone says, John, I got to have my music.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but I really don't want them to listen because I can't give you instruction if you're listening to your music.
Right.
You're not paying attention to what I'm telling you. So it can happen in a lot of ways. It can happen in your training, what we're trying to do, what I'm trying to get. When I go into my training, says I know what I want to do with you already before we even get together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you as the client or the person who's working out, who I'm working with, you got to be mentally prepared before you come to the door. And the first thing I tell the clients, I like what one of the gyms had out. It says, when you come to the gym, leave your ego at the door. I wish they would say, leave your ego and your electronic devices at the door. That would be nice, too.
Right.
But nowadays, in this modern time, like you say, it's not just the internet, but you got TVs all over the place. I remember back when I first started doing this, there was no televisions, nowhere to be seen. So now you got multiple TVs all over and with everything showing, and it's hard. And you'll see people sit on a piece of equipment for like 30 minutes watching TV.
Right.
I went through a whole workout, and this same person sitting right there, glued into the TV set. They said, these people got today. I don't like it for a second. I'm old school with it. But it's almost like going to the gym. It's almost like they're sitting in the living room watching TV, getting caught up working out. So I'm thinking this for some of you people, it's a bowl of chips and and a can of beer or something. Because that's the mentality of the workout.
You know what? Don't get me started because I have my own opinions on certain entities that advertise themselves as, non-judgment and things like that. Nothing against it. I understand why.
Yeah.
I understand why. And I want those entities, if they hear this, to understand there's nothing against you. But I'm similar. I was raised old school, all right? And meaning that you get in there and you're there to do something. That you're there to work out, you're there to do something, and you should not be first of all, you're not sitting. Sitting is, you could do that at home. So the whole process of that, to me is I don't even know why they're there. Now, you said something before that I want to connect on again because I had a conversation recently, and it was funny you brought this up. I was sitting down, and I was talking to my pop. My pop is the one who inspired me to really work out, all right? He worked out every day, calisthenics, and then went to the gym. So I was telling him a story that took place, and I'll tell it really briefly, all right? And I was doing my max lift, all right, 1 rep max, and I came in, and I did my first set, and my form was off, I missed the lift, and then a fellow came in, all right, guy comes in, and I noticed whenever he comes in, the energy shifts, it changes. It gets negative. So I had my headphones on at this time, and I typically do it because I don't like to talk. I find people like to come over and get in your business and do all these other things. I'm one of those non-social guys when I get to the gym, okay? So I get there, all right, and then he comes over, and now he wants to count the plates that I have. I was deadlifting. He wants to count all the plates, and then he wants to ask me what I'm doing, and I'm like, I remember what one of my mentors told me. I remember my pop told me, if the energy is negative, step back, call it a day. So what I did was I looked at him, I looked at the weight, I put everything up, and I just left. And from what you're saying, I'm talking about the fact of just that sitting down and that energy. It's like I don't think people understand that when they go to the gym or whenever they're trying to do something, there is an energy that they're picking up on. There's an energy that they're supposed to be bringing, an energy of change, an energy of progression. And then there are some people there that are not there for that. Now, you have experience, all right, a wealth of experience of being a trainer, all right, being an athlete. Speak a little bit on these other, I'll say, I call them pitfalls or roadblocks, because that's what I find that they are. Those individuals, they're not there for anything, and they want to stop everybody else from progressing too. Speak on that a little bit.
Okay, let me touch a little bit of my background on that, and I'll speak on that. Because I've been in every capacity in the gym. I've been from gym owner to general manager to personal training director, sales, and marketing, the whole part of it. Mm-hmm. And the industry is changed now. It really has changed a lot. So everybody goes to the gym for different reasons now.
Okay.
It used to be you come to the gym, like I was old school guy, and the energy, you're right, something about the energy had to be there, because you got guys back when I trained, if you were in there clowning around, goofing around, they let you know it. It lets you know, hey, what are you here for, man? You here to train, you here to talk.
Right.
So everybody was all focused. Nowadays, you say something to somebody, you go that way, right? What are you here for? You want to have a social time. I'm not here for that. And it does change my energy. Because like I said, if I walk into the gym and I know what I want to do, if I walk in that door and I'm greeted by somebody and they hold me up 10 to 15, 20 minutes, I feel, okay, this person, you're sapping my workout energy, sapping my mood.
Right.
A lot of times I say, you know what? Whatever I had is gone. Because that person wanted to sit down there and just talk about whatever. I'm like, I don't want to be rude, but because I know a lot of people. I worked at a lot of gyms in the area I lived in. So people say, hey, they want information, they want to talk, they want to ask about this and that. So then it saps me for getting my head right to do what I need to do. But again, the gym scenes are different now. Like I say, some will go, or some gyms here in the area I live in, or they get labeled.
Okay.
This gym more like a club scene. So you kind of know. You know what I'm saying? You know what gym to stay away from. And so I know people go to gyms just for that. I had guys tell me, hey, I just come to the gym just to see the ladies or just to see the men, because everybody's showing everything nowadays.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So it's a lot of distractions. So I said, you said people sitting around, but everybody's there for different things. So to me, it's a distraction. I try to do it early in the morning or late at night. When I say early in the morning, I'm talking about 3:30 and 4, because now there's so many 24-hour gyms. I like to get it in because there's not a whole lot of distractions.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do is I found this to be true. People who come in the morning, at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, they're serious about what they're doing.
Right.
Because they got to be somewhere. Okay, so you're not going to get a whole lot of cheer and a whole lot of chatter. But that afternoon, that evening crowd, it's a whole nother thing. It becomes a social hour.
Right.
Yeah. It's what it becomes a social hour. And that's the part I try to stay out of. Now, sometimes I have training sessions, just like you got training sessions in the evening. You got to get in there, you got to do what you have to do. But for myself, I try to avoid training on that prime time, what they call prime time, between 5 and 8 o'clock. I try to stay away from me. Like I said, I'm a morning person. Get it done early in the morning. And I think psyche, and I think that's important too to y'all. I think if you train first thing in the morning, that's the first thing on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that if you get that out of the way, then you don't have to be concerned about that at the end of the day. Now, here's what happens to people who are evening trainers or who go through that. First thing you get up in the morning, you got to deal with your job, right? You're going to go to work. You got a 9 to 5 work. You're going to go to work, and then you're going to try to come in and release your stress in your job.
Right.
So their workout might be a little bit different, because it's the last thing they're doing on the day opposed to the first thing of the day.
Right.
I got my greatest gains and my greatest results early in the morning.
Okay.
Because I got a good night's sleep. That's important. I got a good night of rest. My brain was at ease. No pressures of the day, events going on. And the first thing I'm doing is training. And I made my best gains in the morning.
Right.
That's just me. Now, everybody, but my mind was mentally prepared for that, to do it in the morning, opposed to doing it in the evening. So with the changes in the gym, the things going on, what I've seen over the years, I don't like what I see, because it's like going to a big social club. That's what it is.
Right.
But what can you do? And everybody's there for different reasons. I'm there to take care of me, to be fit mentally, for my mental well-being, as well as for my physical well-being. And then as a personal trainer, sometimes we become counselors.
Yeah.
Because people want to drop their problems onto you, because you build a rapport of trust with them. Because anybody trusts you with their body, they got to have a lot of trust with you. To trust you're going to do the right thing. So then, if you seem like you're an open person to they have a crying shoulder or whatever, and I've taken that approach, and I've taken that. I don't purposely do that. It just seems to come towards me, where they say, John, you know what? I don't want to work out today. Can you just give me the time just to talk? And I have done that. I said, okay, I've done that, because you don't know what they've gone through or what they're facing. I think I shared a story about you when I talked to you last week about I had a young lady who was on her way home to commit suicide.
Correct.
And so she decided to stop by the gym. She had a session with me. She said, I was going to go right past that gym and go home and kill myself.
Wow.
And she said, no, but some told me to go to the gym. And that day she came in, we greeted, talked. And during that conversation, I just began to start talking about something that's out of the blue. But everything I was talking about was what she needed. And after the end of the time, she said, you know what? I thank God I came in today, because everything you were saying to me, and I didn't know what was going on with the lady. She said, everything you were saying to me, it helped me. It kept me from going home and killing myself.
Wow.
So you never know as a trainer, I try to be sensitive to what's going on with my people around me, what they're going through. How's your day? How's what's going on? I try to be sensitive to that. But then I tell them, I say, look, if you come in here and you got something going on, I really do stay away. Because when you get with me, it's about business, it's about working out.
Right.
I'm on a mission. I'm on a clock. You know, as a trainer, we're on clocks. We got tight schedules. At least mine is. I got tight schedules. My sessions usually go one after another. So I got to be finishing you up and get ready for the next person coming in. Right. So it's going to be all work and no play. So that's how I deal with my clients, and I deal with people who I deal with every day. Sometimes you got to be a counselor. I find myself doing that quite a bit.
And you know what? I'm first of all, I'm glad you segued into that nicely, because that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to interview based on our conversation last week, because and I think I was going over with you just how the show is and what our beliefs are here, that health and fitness, got a little tongue tied, is holistic. It's not just physical, you know, and I think that's the one thing that is missing, is definitely missing from a lot of the perspectives from individuals out there. I think, especially in the Western world that we live in, which is to me, it's very much all about fads, all about superficial things. And I'm glad the fact that you have the mindset to take it where it's, you know, this person needs to talk at this time. Because to me, the way I look at it is that's also fitness. That's also a training session. You know, the person is talking, they're working out what it is that's on their mind. You know what I mean? At that particular moment. And I want you to go a little deeper in the fact of how does our physical training, how does our activity help us mentally? What is it that's really taking place? Because for the individuals who are out there who don't understand it, the ones who think that we're health nuts, you know, we're whatever type of thought they have, you know, about us focusing on our training our bodies, feeling good and working, their perspective to me is skewed, but it's skewed by ignorance. What is taking place when we're working out and when we're building ourselves and progressing, breaking our bodies down? What takes place mentally?
Well, mentally, I think the first thing that takes place on the mental side, you know, it's like your body don't want to do the work. Mm-hmm. Okay? You know, the body I don't want to do this thing. But mentally, what goes on, it's like anything else in life. I tell people the same approach when you go to your job. You got to prepare your mind to do whatever kind of work you do. You got to prepare your mind to do that job. Mm-hmm. Same way when you go go into a workout. If you're not prepared mentally, and what it does for me mentally, it helps stimulate deep thought for me. It allows me a chance whether you and work on, and this is get out of the weight thing. I tell people take a yoga class, kind of help you channel some different type of energy, help you to relax when you need to breathe. Also, it's a healing. Inner what goes on from the mental part of it, you can get inner healing from different parts of your body.
Right.
But like whether it be the pancreas, whether it be your liver, whether it be your kidneys. Mentally, when you stimulate your brain, get your brain stimulated to just exhale and relax, you're doing a great service to your inner parts as well as your mental capacity. It allows me to think clear, because if you're not mentally focused on what you're doing, you can set yourself up to be injured. You set yourself up to or injure somebody else. Mm. So I tell people, when you come into this arena on this mentally, you got to come in here with your head right. Get your head right in what you're doing and focus. Stay focused, because now you can clear whatever might be cluttering your brain that day. Stress might have been stressing you out. It's going to help relieve that stress, right? Mental stress. And a lot of people in this day and time have a lot of stressful jobs. Oh yeah. So yeah, you come in here. Working out is going to help you just release all that. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, leave the job, leave the work in the car, check it in the parking lot. Now, your body's going to be in a healing mode. Because every time you come in and do that, your brain and your body is in healing. And I tell people one thing about working out, it adds years to life. It slows down the aging process. Mm-hmm. You know, the whole thing about you speak as this is what you are. Right. Well, if your brain is speaking negativity all the time, guess what you're going to be? You're going to be a negative person. Yes, you are. And if you're trying to, if you want to say, I can't, I tell my clients, there's no such thing as I can't. It says we will try when we can, and we will.
Right.
So it's a mindset. So you got to have the right frame, be in the right frame of mind mentally in order to get to accomplish, achieve anything. Like you can be one of those people who said, I would ask you when it comes to that, what kind of person are you? Are you a sideline person, team player, or you are in the game team player? So in the game team player, that means there's more sacrifice and there's more expected of you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you're a sideline player, you just sit on the sideline holding just 20 seconds and hoping that maybe, or hope the coach won't ask me to go in the game. I don't really want to play. I'm just out here. That's the wrong mindset. I never had that mindset. If I'm competitive. First of all, I'm very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So with my clients or with myself, my biggest enemy is going to be me, not the guy next over here who's benching 500 pounds wrong on the bench. You know what I'm saying? He's benching 500 pounds wrong. Got everybody moving him on. And I would say, and as a trainer, I'll sit back and I said, but mentally, he's here, and everybody's coming here for the wrong. Mentally, he's not where he needs to be because he's doing something totally wrong. You set yourself up to hurt yourself in that way. So that's a lot of things I tell people on the mental side of it. Everything starts in your head, and then my next thing goes into nutrition with me, and then it goes to the physical body.
Right.
If I go into a gym, and I've walked in many gyms, if my mind's not there, I say, okay, I'm not working out today. I'm done. I can't do it. I just walk out.
Right.
Because mentally, I'm not there, and I don't want to hurt myself physically because I'm not there mentally.
What would you say to the individuals out there? Because I know there are a lot of individuals who are probably listening right now, and also individuals who are just going through their normal lives and they want to work out, but they have that apprehension. They don't want to be judged when they come into the gym. What would you say to them? What information or that you could impart to them that would help them to get over that fear?
Well, I'll say to anybody, and I understand what you're saying. When you come into a gym, first of all, understand this. Everybody in the gym is pretty much for the same reason you are. They're either trying to lose weight or they're trying to gain weight. They're going there for self-improvement. Mm-hmm. So you got to look at it. This person here, the downside of it, they may see somebody come in looking all buff like a bodybuilder and like, oh, they looking good. That person just didn't hop out of his mama's womb looking like that.
Right.
Okay. That's why I always like the before and after pictures. Those are great. So if you see what the before product is and where they are now, you understand they went through the same struggle. So I thought, put your fears, and that's fear. Put your fears behind you. If you live in fear, you will never succeed in this life in anything you do. So you got to overcome the fear that nobody's not looking at you. Yeah, people are going to look at you. They look at you in the grocery store. They look at you wherever. So no matter where it is, it's just another place. It's just another vehicle. But know when you go into that gym, put all your fears aside. Everybody's there doing the same thing you're doing. But I would say this too. Sit down with a trainer. Let somebody walk you through first, or sit down with some of the staff and say, hey, I'm new to the gym. I don't know how to do any of this. Is there somebody here to work with me? It's kind of sad. A lot of gyms, that's all they want to do is get your name on the dollar line, get you paid a monthly membership, spend maybe 2 or 3 days, put you this, okay, you're on your own. When I ran gyms, I didn't do that. I set my people up with trainers and hopefully that, okay, you brand new, we don't want you in here to hurt. You need a trainer. And I tell people, if you're free, get you a trainer, hire you a trainer if you can afford it. And most people can. It's just you got to make a sacrifice.
Right.
And like I say, in order to make that sacrifice, you say, "Well, I got to sacrifice." Well, I look at where some of your money is being spent on your entertainment life. You know what I mean?
Right.
So what's more important to you, your entertainment or getting your body, your physical body, and your mental capacity right? What's important to you?
I always try to tell my clients that if you should start looking at the gym as your entertainment. Because your body is what's going to allow you to enjoy whatever it is you want to enjoy for the rest of your time on this earth. So I always try to get them that way when it comes to that.
Yeah, and that's a good one too. I never thought about it that way. It's your entertainment. That's a good analysis. I think I'm going to take that one from you and start using that as well.
That's copyright infringement, sir. That's copyright infringement.
Okay. Well, I'll slide you a little something up, take care of that. But you're right, that's a great, excellent point. And actually, overcoming the fear. But once you get started, I always tell people this here.
Right.
January is always a hot time for this industry because we get all these New Year's resolutions. Every year I'm going to go in and get. When you say the average person starts off there, they'll quit within 6 weeks.
Right.
They'll quit within 6 weeks because you're trying to do something. Your body don't want to do it anyway. So now you want to go in there. You don't want to get through the soreness. I tell people, am I going to be sore? Yes, you're going to be sore. Whether you lift 1 pound or 20 pounds or 200 pounds, you're going to be sore. That's part of the process because your body's been laying dormant for so long, and it needs to move. It wants to move. Then, okay, so now you're going to get sore. The next thing we're going to do, I tell them, if I can get you 90 days, then I can get you. If I can get you to 90 days, then it will become a lifestyle. That's why this is a lifestyle change. This is not, and it's sad. Most people come in, I can feel, hey, I got a photo shoot I'm trying to do. I got a high school reunion. I got a cruise, so I need to lose all this weight, and I got like 3 or 4 months to do it. And that's okay. So what are you gonna do after that? You're gonna work hard. You spend all this money for a gym membership, a personal trainer. You're gonna lose some weight, start looking good, and then you're just gonna go on a cruise, and then you're gonna quit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's what most people do.
That's true.
So I try to tell people, if you can get past 90 days, this will become a lifestyle change. So you'll get to the point you'll actually start loving being sore.
Yep.
You will hey, I like being sore. You feel like you're actually doing something. You feel the muscles actually working. You feel your brain's gotten sharper. Your self-esteem has gotten better. That's what it is. My self-esteem's gotten better. But I also tell people this is also a prideful sport too, especially people who lift weights. It's very, very prideful sport. And being around the bodybuilding industry, and I tell all my competitors, stay humble. All my people I can say, stay humble. Don't get too full of yourself.
I love the fact because everything I'm about to ask you touch on it way before I even get a chance to get there. So my next question is the fact of, and you said it's prideful. There's some ego in there. All right. How would I see this with a lot of newbies and individuals who come in there who are humble or are tentative again about coming in. And then I see these individuals who come in and they're prideful, and they have an arrogance to them, and they literally are throwing it out on these individuals. What advice would you tell somebody, a young man, a young woman who's coming in? Let's say a young man who's 125 pounds, never really picked up a weight, wants to go in, wants to better himself, or a woman that might be a little overweight. What are you going to tell those people who are dealing with, let's be honest, some of the jerks that are going to be in there? How do they deal with that?
Well, here's what I tell them. I'm not to tell them when people sit down with me when they first come in to my gym, and I have several questions. I'll ask them, how do you feel about working around other people? That's going to be important. Mm-hmm. Are you a team player, or because sometimes I might have a group fitness class. Okay. And if I can get them, or what I'm saying, somebody on their level, because I try to. You got some people who are everybody at athletic level is different, right? Some people who are ones, you're gonna have some fives, you're gonna have some tens. So what I try to do is say, okay, I got a group class over here. It's a little bit more, a little impact. Kind of get you out of the mainstream. Just a little bit to kind of get you comfortable being around people on your same fitness level. Now I would tell people, if you see somebody out here doing a whole lot of weight, showing off, doing a whole lot of flex, whatever, I said, pay them no attention. Okay, they're on a whole other level than what you're going to be on, and I hope you never be on that level. Okay, first of all, I hope you never be on the level. But I tell them, don't look at what somebody else is doing in the gym. That's why I tell you it's important. Get you a trainer so you can learn properly how to perform these exercises. I will always go back, get you a trainer, get somebody to talk you through the machines, show you how to use a proper form, a proper technique. I don't care if you can do 200 pounds. And let me say this to those ego people coming to the gym. I watch guys come in the gym, they throw up 80 and 90 pound dumbbells, shoulder press, right? And I'll say, excuse me, but I see what you're doing. That's impressive. You're hitting that 80 pounds. But you know what? You're not getting the full benefit out of that move because you got too much jerking and jerking. I said, let me take you down to about 25 pounds, and let me show you how to do it like this. And these are some of my ego guys, right? And I'll post them, and then I'll show them how to do something at 25 pounds. He said, oh, it's a little technique. Oh, I felt the 25 more than I felt those 80s. I said, why did you do that? I said, because, first of all, most people know how to activate the muscles they're training anyway. Right. You know what I'm saying? So my thing, getting back to your point, what I try to do is I'll deal with the ego people. I tell them, don't look at those people over here. And, they're going to, don't let that intimidate you. Don't let that bring fear into you, thinking that, because one day you will get, maybe you'll get to where these people are. But let's just start like this. Anybody like yourself, somebody said, I've been working out for 15, 20 years. Well, when you come to me, we're going to start in the baby step. You got to crawl before you walk. Because I don't know what you've been doing.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So what you may say might be some kind of advanced workout, and then what I do is something totally different. Usually in my case, when I started with people like, oh my God, man, I feel like I'm starting all over from brand new. And these are people who are working out for 10 to 15 years.
Right.
Because they were taught bad technique early on because nobody really got with them. So I'm saying, I say that point, you could be in the gym 10 or 15 years and not know what you're doing.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
Yeah, that's very true. So I try to get people early on. I say, look here, because that person's doing all that, don't necessarily mean that you know what you're doing. And I start pointing out stuff. See this here? This technique is wrong. This it. So if you watch people in the gym doing something, that sometimes they're not the best people to watch.
Right.
Because everybody, a lot of people come in, they want to, especially if we're a trainer, they'll sit and watch us do stuff. And they say, well, they don't want our services. They want to watch everything we do and then try to implement it into their program.
That's true.
And then they'll do it all wrong. Yeah. So I'll tell people coming in, look, I tell the young guys, and last time I always try to get somebody with a trainer, or if I can't get a trainer, I try to get them myself. And say, look here, the first week you come in the gym, I'm going to have somebody working with you to get you through this first week. And then, teach you the proper technique, how to use everything here. I get my staff to show you how to use the equipment. I think most people come into the gym, biggest fear I think is that I found over the years is people come in the gym with all this new modern day equipment, do not know how to use any of it.
Right.
And I think it's intimidating from the fact that people get on the machine, even though the instructions are on it, nobody wants to read anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Nobody wants to read.
No, they don't.
So I tell all the new people, I said, look, get familiar with these pieces of equipment. I'll have somebody walk you through it as well, because that's one of the most biggest intimidating, because there's so many pieces of equipment. Not only gym, man, there's just so much, and people are overwhelmed. And that's why I think the biggest fear come in. Not so much of them looking at somebody else, but I think is I don't know how to use none of this equipment in here. And if you're not a free weight person, I'm not gonna put you on the free weight section. Let's go over here and get you familiar how to use this piece of equipment right here.
Okay.
Because you and I, you both know, you jump out and do free weights. It don't take a whole lot to strain or pull something.
No, it doesn't.
Technique is not right.
No, it doesn't. You better know what you're doing when it comes to free weights.
Exactly. And now, you can put some on a machine, which is not intimidating. They can sit down on it, or most of them sit or stand or lay down on it, whatever, and they can sit there and everything, the range of motion will be nice, easy on the joints. I said, okay, now do like maybe 3 sets of 10 or 12, whatever on this machine here, and then move on to the next thing here. And then we're going to walk you through it. And that's one thing I help people getting over the fear factor coming to the gym. Because I say my biggest problem, not so much looking at they call it the jerks or those people, it's equipment, being overwhelmed with everything in the gym. That's the biggest thing I have dealt with people. People say, hey, can you come over here and show me how to use this, or how does this work, or how does this work? And so once you take your time and explain to them, and then say, okay, now your first couple of weeks, just come and do this. Just come and do this. Just learn your few pieces. Don't try to learn the whole gym in one outing. Once you get familiar with that piece, then move on to something else. And that's why I kind of break that fear with them.
So basically, it seems like you take them and you give them or keep them to their purpose of why they're there, and let them focus on them, along with having somebody to guide them in the proper way. Because you're right. I've seen it in individuals. They do try to take certain techniques from people. If they're not trained, they don't know exactly what's going on. And a lot of times, like you said, the person might have bad technique, or they don't necessarily know why the person's doing a specific technique. I mean, like, I train with different guys who are powerlifters, all right, and I've had to explain to many people the powerlifting bridge and the bench press. So many times I've had people come over to me like, oh, that's bad form. I'm like, I'm not bench pressing for muscle. Oh, I'm bench pressing to move weight. And that conversation's going back and forth plenty of times. John, do me a favor. We appreciate all of the time you spent. We know you're a busy person. Where can people contact you? Where can people, if they want to learn more about you, talk to you, where can they do that? Give us your social media or your email or something that people can reach out to you if they want to ask you more questions.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. You can reach out to me there. It'll be Pro Elite. My name, my company, my business is Pro Elite Fitness. But you can reach me out on Instagram on Pro Elite No Mercy. or use my name, John Blackley. I'm also on social media as John Blackley. Me and others supposed to be on Facebook as well. All my information is there. And also I got a Twitter too. So, but I don't really use Twitter that much. But mostly on Instagram and Facebook. Just type in my name there, and you'll come up with that information. I also do I do consulting for also all you bodybuilders out there. You need consulting from a judge's standpoint of view. I would love to talk to you on that end as well. Posing, we do posing, nutrition, meal preps for everything. I'm not powerlifting. I know how to powerlift for me, but I got other people who are far more knowledgeable than I am with it. So I got some people I got like a team of people I use, not just John. So if somebody like you say, like your specialty is powerlifting or whatever, I said, okay, you know what? I know enough to get me there to teach you the basic stuff. But if you want more advanced stuff, then you need to talk to this guy right here. And that's what I kind of do. You know, he's a little bit more knowledgeable in that area than I am. So I learned to be humble in the sport. I don't know everything in the gym. I'm still learning. I'm 60 years old, been in the gym over 40 years. I'm still learning. You know, I never get to the point where I have arrived. I'm always looking for new ideas. As long as it's within something that I can do, you know. But I always look. So I always got to keep your heart and your mind and your ears open to learn new things. But then also seek professional help as a personal trainer and even certified trainer. I got different certifications from ACE, ISSA, master certifications, AFA. Back when I started doing it, you didn't need certification. You just had to look the part and knew what you were doing. And we paid rent to gyms to go in and train. We get a guy $200 or $300 and say, okay. So now things have changed. But yeah, find you a good certified trainer. And also make sure you're CPR certified. I tell people, leave that what you do. That's important. I've had some very, very horrible experiences in the gym, not from many of my clients, but just in the gym watching things, seeing things happen in the gym. And not nobody knows, people know what to do when certain things happen. So I tell to your audience out there, you're looking to go to a gym, make sure they got certified trainers. They are CPR certified as well. And make sure they got a defibrillator in their gyms. Some people say, like in my area, the law here said they don't have to have them. I said, well, the law says it's a good thing to have though, because it could save somebody's life.
That's right.
So I tell you, people out there, when you're looking for gyms, make sure those things are available for you. Talk to a trainer. For your new people want to go and talk to the trainer. So a lot of sales staff, all they do is just sell them. They want to sell them because they make money off those numbers.
Right.
Okay, but if you want to know a program and what you're trying to do and try to get yourself in shape, take that time, talk to that trainer, and then if you can afford it, hire that trainer. You're going to get greater, better results. Because you're going to be spinning your wheels for 4 or 5 months and not getting anywhere. And then you're going to come and say, you know what, I need a trainer. Yeah. So hire you a good trainer. And like I say, I'm out there. This young man I'm talking to, I see some of his on Instagram. Like, look, he knows what he's doing. What area are you in, brother? You in what, Philly area?
I'm in the Philadelphia area.
Philadelphia area, yeah. Definitely check this brother out too. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia area. So if people out there in Atlanta, a lot of people already know me. Because I work on a lot of different gyms and I judge a lot of bodybuilding shows here in Atlanta. So please, Instagram or Facebook.
John, thank you for coming on to De La Fit Podcast. We definitely want you back, and we hope that you'll come back, all right, because, again, this has been a great conversation for us, all right, and I'm sure after we post this up, after we put this information out there, people are going to have questions.
Please. Well, thank you for the opportunity. Anything I can do to help you with your endeavors, feel free to call me anytime. I'm open. I also do a little part-time acting too. I act as well. Yeah, so between acting and doing the gym stuff, I got a great life. You know, I got a great life, so I'm not having no complaints. So please feel free to reach out. I love to help. I'm about helping people. I know my purpose is to serve and to serve people, and we all got a purpose. So that's my purpose, to serve people, help in any capacity I can. So I make myself available.
John, thank you again.
Thank you, brother.
You're now tuned into the De La Fit Podcast.
Special thanks to Mr. John Blackley for coming on to the De La Fit Podcast and sharing his information. Again, it's always good to have somebody who has knowledge and experience on their side, and to share it is an awesome thing. And to have somebody specifically like Mr. Blackley, who has been so active in the playground of life. And when I say the playground of life, I mean as far as, the different gyms and different athletic endeavors and activities. That's what I'm speaking of clearly. To have that plethora of information, to have that experience of not only the physical but the mental aspect of what it takes as a trainer to help people reach their goals, and also the mindset to be able to try to not necessarily pass that mindset, but to inspire that mindset within another individual, because I feel that's what us as trainers do. I don't think, I hear some people say that we pass the mindset on to others. I don't think it's possible. I think it's either in you or it's not in you. And even when somebody says, oh man, or I wasn't very fit, or I wasn't this, but I just got motivated. It was in you. It was in you to do it. It's in you. Believe it. 100%. It's there. It might not have been fostered. It might not have been motivated. It might not have been inspired. But the seed is there. It's going to take a lot of focus. It might take a little bit more for some than others. But believe me, the seed of positive progression in any direction is in you. And it is a blessing to have individuals like Mr. Blackley on the show to help water the seed of progression. It is a blessing. I love having people like him on this show. I like to talk to people. I like to talk to people who are passionate about playing. And when I say playing, I don't mean playing with time. See, there's a difference. There's a difference between playing with time, or I should say wasting time, and playing with progression. And when I say playing with progression, I don't mean tomfoolery. I don't mean shenanigans. I don't mean buffoonery. I mean playing, real playing. And I'm going to try to break this down in a few words. But real playing is when you're involved in something and you have a passion for it, something positive. And when you're learning about it, and when you're immersed in it, and when you're just enamored with it, and it continues to grow. When it's something that has no limits, and you just want to learn as much as you can learn about it, and you see yourself growing in it, whether there's failure or there's success, that is play. That is true playing. Think of the feeling you have as when you were a child, or when you're, even as an adult, when you're doing something that's fun, something that just makes you feel good. Now, when you're involved in something and it's satisfying and you enjoy it and you're passionate about it to its full extent, that even the lows inspire you to keep on, and you get that feeling that's like a rush of energy and butterflies and I don't know how to put it, this nervousness running up and down your spine. That's passion, that's energy, that's creativity, that's play. That's true play. That's what I'm talking about. And it's a blessing to have individuals who have had that experience and have embraced that experience to devote their life to that experience on this show. So shout out to you, Mr. John Blackley, for coming on to the show. We thank you so much. Next up,
it's time for
with us today is the one, the only, Shawnee Butler. Shawnee, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
What's going on, Shawnee? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am very energetic right now. I've just sat and got a sip of coffee, and I've also had a little bit of water, and I have some more beverages right here, and I shall probably be up for a while.
All right. Well, I'm sitting outside the gym. As soon as we get done talking, I'm going in, get my cardio in. So I'll probably be up for a while, too.
Wow, cardio in the evening? I have never done that. I've never done cardio in the evening.
Really? Well, I just read, I don't know, somebody on, all those people we follow, a doctor or whatever. And they were like, physical fitness, if you do your weights in the morning and do cardio in the evening, or at least like 6 hours later, you should reap better benefits at burning fat and stuff like that. So I'm giving this a try and see if that's true.
Now that's interesting. I also I read and I also saw it was like a part interview with oh man, I can't think of that guy's name. He got a lot of flack because he was doing the what is that called? The what is it when you fast? I'm sorry. What is it? Something.
Intermittent fast.
Intermittent fast. Thank you. Intermittent fasting. I know everybody's out there like, wow, yeah, you're really ready. You're like, he was doing intermittent fasting.
Fitness professional, huh? Yeah.
I know, right? I know. You guys, you don't understand. There's so much going on right now. And I just dropped a whole load of videos for my Instagram. So, he was doing intermittent fasting, and he was only eating, I think, about 1,000 calories and doing weightlifting. And he said that's what allowed him to drop a lot of weight and maintain and build muscle. So, hey, let us know how it goes. That seems really interesting.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
You do not sound enthusiastic about that.
I mean, I've always worked out at night, so it's no big deal. But just splitting it up and, 2 times a day, like I said, we'll see. We'll see how this works out.
All right, well, we're going to see how you answer these questions right now because we have a couple. And the first one is,
all right,
want to know about how does physical exercise impact sexual function, all right, and basically overall the body's stamina.
Okay. Well, let's go to the overall stamina part first, because then it'll lead into why it affects the sexual. Basically, so when you're working out and stuff like that, working out, if nothing else, you're pretty much going to build endurance. So because you're basically like when you're doing cardio and stuff, your body usually goes into the proper breathing mode. In through the mouth, out through the nose, or however that's supposed to be. And then your diaphragm works the correct way.
Okay.
Yeah. So, again, like I read this stuff online. Dr. Oz said it's true. So if Dr. Oz said it, you know it's true. But anyway, working out, if nothing else, always builds endurance. So therefore, that endurance is a key factor in sex. Because what you all, nobody likes those quick. Nobody likes those quickies unless you really want a quickie, elevator ride, 5-minute lunch break or whatever. But
elevator ride. You know what? We're not even gonna go there with you. I'm scared. That's a door I don't want to open with you.
It was on 50 Shades of Grey, I think, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So
it was in the book. Okay. Yeah.
Right. When did you read that book?
A few years ago, I read all of them.
I don't believe you. Yeah. Anyway, but with that, okay, so.
Okay. And then, so, because you're such a great guy, so you actually sent me the show topics ahead of time. So, me, I went online to, make sure for us females, some key aspects. And there's a lot of exercises that we do in the gym that we don't even realize that we're doing that actually benefit us during sex. So, wall sits, like that we hate to do, are a great exercise that helps strengthen some of the vaginal muscles, the pelvic muscles. When we're stretching and we're sitting in the Indian style.
Right.
And things like that, that's opening up our hips.
Also known as the lotus pose for some people. Also known as the lotus pose.
Okay. Right. Okay, great. Because I know nothing about yoga or anything like that. But, right. So the lotus sit or lotus style is very beneficial. Correct breathing, again, also helps tighten and strengthen our vaginal muscles, our uterus area. The wonderful squats and any other exercise that you're doing that's building up the hamstring muscles. Ladies, this is the best muscle or the best muscles to build so that we can maintain that top position. And also the doggy style position.
So I mean, and I'm sure, I know you and I joke a lot before, and I know individuals are tuning in, but this is something it seems like I've been picking up. It seems like a lot of the physical exercises and movements that we do have a positive effect on regulating our breathing. It seems like breathing is a big issue with human beings. It seems as though we just somehow forget to breathe properly, and exercise seems to realign everything.
It really does. And yes, we do forget. And then because of our basic inactivity, we develop bad habits in breathing. And then those of us that have excess belly fat, that belly fat when we sit and stuff is pushing into our diaphragm and our lungs. And it basically, when we sit down, those of us that have, and I'm saying us because I do have some excess belly fat. So when I'm sitting down, my belly is actually pushing into my diaphragm, pushing my lungs and my heart and everything up, therefore constricting my airways and causing me to breathe differently and incorrectly, because now we're beginning to pant. We're beginning to, do things to get air, and we're not taking that time to breathe in and fill up our lungs and then press our diaphragm in to go back out because we're so busy trying to just get some air. We're just, however it needs to be done.
That would also seem like the lack of air and the fact that we're not actually in the right proportions, it would affect us physically in many different ways, as well as our sexual health. Because I feel like this is an overlining bigger problem that we have as human beings, especially in the Western society.
Oh, yes, it really is. This is why physical fitness is so important. I mean, diet first, of course, but physical fitness too, just to correct a lot of things, correct posture issues, correct breathing issues, even you'd be surprised. It even corrects, like some of our thirst issues. Working out will cause you to drink more water, which is a good thing.
Very true. Very true.
Because I noticed when I was in high school, I didn't have a problem with acne because, like my doctor said, it's probably because I drank a lot of water because I played sports. So when you're playing sports, all you're doing is drinking water. I didn't have a lot of acne issues. I didn't develop acne issues until I was like in college as an adult because I stopped drinking, water.
Which is one of the main issues where I think they say, what is it? I don't remember. I think it's the freshman 10, where you pick up, they say, an additional 10 pounds when a person get in college. I know I did, everybody.
We call it the freshman 15. I picked up my 15 and like two other people's.
Well, that's all right, because looking at you now, we're looking at those guns. We can see, you're slimming down, trimming up, and those guns are cocked and loaded.
They're ready.
Shawnee, as always, thank you so much. We appreciate you for being on the show. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
De La Fit Podcast.
So we've come to the end of our podcast. I just would like to thank all of our listeners for tuning in, for sharing, for your comments, for your well wishes, and all of the positive energy that you have sent to us. We thank you immensely. Also like to thank our guest, Mr. John Blackley, for stopping in and talking with us and letting us and enlightening us about the exercise and mentality, the progressive mentality when it comes to physical training and exercise and movement and what it can do for you. Like to thank Shawnee Butler for stopping in and always bringing her wonderful personality and awesome information and passion to the Dropping the Jewels section. And again, to all the listeners, we thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you have any topics you would like us to speak on, if you have any questions, please email us at delafit13@gmail.com. We will respond. We are on Instagram at day_la_fit podcast. And we are now on Facebook. That's right. We are now on Facebook. You can find us at De La Fit Podcast. Complete. We are right there. You can send us comments and questions if you like the show. If anything you want to talk about the show, you can find it right there. All on the De La Fit Podcast Facebook page. We are now there too. Again, thank you so much. And as always, please be progressive, be positive, be loving. Peace.
You're now tuned in to the De La Fit Podcast.